Are emerging from the investigation into the tragic shooting at Kentucky State University earlier this month. WDRB's Dalton Godby tells us the parents of the student who was killed were arrested and now face felony charges for intimidation.
It was nearly 3 weeks ago.
Why was this even able to happen? Why was this even something that could have happened?
When a shooting at Kentucky State University killed a student and injured another person on campus.
This is not okay. It happened on campus. Multiple people saw it. Like, this is where we live.
It's just sad that it happened, honestly.
Dejon Fox Jr. was the student killed in that shooting, and now his parents, Dejon Fox Sr. and Chardonnay Cleveland, are facing felony charges for intimidating Jacob Bard, the man accused of the shooting. Court records show threatening social media posts from both parents after their son's death, including this one, where Fox wrote that Bard would feel the same hurt I feel, on a photo of his mugshot. In a deleted post, Cleveland reportedly wrote, quote, "I want his son dead, just like mine," end quote. Bard was the suspect in the December 9th shooting on the K-State campus that left Fox Jr. dead and another student critically injured. But his attorney said he was completely justified in using deadly force, citing that Bard and his wife were at KSU to move their sons back home because they were concerned about safety. The attorneys say the family was attacked by 20 to 30 people wearing ski masks and hoods when Bard used his wife's gun. He was initially charged in the case, but a Franklin County grand jury recently declined to indict him, accepting a claim that he acted in self-defense. Following the arrest of the victim's parents, Bard's attorneys told WDRB in a statement, quote, "Violence and calls for violence will not be tolerated," end quote. Fox and Cleveland were released from custody. They appeared in court Friday afternoon as a community and the university are still reeling from what happened.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul, and new developments here in the video that we reacted to earlier, like earlier on in the month, where a Kentucky State student was killed in a shooting. And initially was, a parent, killed the student. And as we just heard here, he used his wife's gun to do that. Apparently, they were there to try to move their student, their kid, their son, off campus, or to maybe a different dorm on campus. It wasn't quite clear where they were trying to move them, but they had safety concerns for their kid, who was also a student at Kentucky State University. And apparently, according to the court documents, they were attacked. They said by over 20 kids, maybe all students. Maybe their kid was being bullied. Or just had got into it with some of these individuals, and they came to move their kid out of safety. But apparently, as I have said before, like social media, man, is really people's downfall, because the parents of the student that was killed, they went to social media and started communicating threats towards the guy that was arrested. And so they end up being arrested. And, hopefully, man, people start to learn that they don't need to really go to social media to try to air out their grievances or communicate threats, or, try to get a message across, because you want a lot of people to see it and stuff like that. A lot of times, man, some of this stuff, man, you have to handle behind closed doors, and even use the law into your own, towards your own goals, as far as getting justice and things like that. They were saying that the prosecutors decided not to indict, because this man was saying, he was using self-defense. But I'm just noticing just like a few things that kind of stick out, like the usernames that you use and stuff like that. It kind of says a lot as far as the image that you're trying to portray and stuff like that. But let's see here. It says you, and I'm sure it's a curse word there. You don't know what you took from me, but you will feel the same hurt I feel. So, a bunch of middle fingers and stuff like that. You don't want to use social media to communicate threats like that, because believe it or not, authorities and people who report this stuff to authorities, man, they're all over the internet. And once you put something out there on the internet, man, it's hard to take it back. Because people will screenshot it. These are nothing but screenshots. Let's see. I'm so blank. I got a different hate in my eyes and heart. So, and this is, of course, this looks like a Facebook post. So, they have the specific design of like a Facebook post or whatnot. Let me see here. Let's see if the mother actually, if they have what the mother put out. Let me see.
Feel on a photo of his mugshot. In a deleted post, Cleveland reportedly wrote, quote, "I want his son dead, just like mine."
Yeah, so, they was quoting that, it was a post and delete, but, they still was able to go and recover that post and delete, and it was saying, I want your son dead, same way my son is dead, to paraphrase the quote that they're accusing her of posting on social media. But I totally get it, man, and my condolences to your son. I totally understand, the heartbreak that you could be going through by losing someone. I haven't lost a kid, but I've lost people. And especially when it's untimely, especially when it's at the hands of someone else. I can understand the anger that comes along with that. And it's hard to tell a parent how to grieve and how to how to react to their anger and how they feel. But you definitely don't want to put yourself into a position to where you end up in that orange jumpsuit as well, and still having to grieve the fact that you lost your kid. What's really interesting to me is why these parents were jumped on when they was coming to move their kid. Like apparently then this Kentucky State University doesn't have like the best reputation as far as safety. And I mean, when you look at this
The
video,
family was
man,
attacked by
it's a
20 to 30
full-on
people
brawl.
wearing ski
And then,
masks and
somebody
hoods.
came
When
and
by
just
20 to 30
literally
people wearing ski masks
kicked
and
the
by
crap out of
20
this
to 30
person.
people wearing
So
ski
this looks
masks
like
and
the guy
hoods. By 20 to 30.
that did the shooting. He was down on the ground. He had his hands up. And someone came and just literally mule kicked him in the head.
30 people wearing ski masks and hoods when Barr
they was
used his
grabbed.
wife's gun. He was initially charged in the case, but a Franklin County grand jury recently declined to indict him, accepting a claim that he acted in self-defense.
So it was the grand jury. They decide not to indict him. I'm sure they combed through a lot of different video evidence. I'm sure this guy's lawyer was able to obtain the footage and break down key pieces that they just decided not to indict. So we'll have to wait and see what other updates come with this. But for right now, the parents of the student that was killed, they were arrested, they were released, but they still will have a later court date for these charges that they're facing. And again, man, it's kind of best not to go to social media with certain stuff, because even if you post it and delete it, it's going to still be there in some capacity. And these platforms, They have data servers and a lot of cloud infrastructure, and even though you delete it from your end, it's not deleted from those servers and stuff like that. So it can always be recovered. But we'll see if there's any updates. Go ahead and close out this video. If you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.